Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and 4 signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Hello, it is Tuesday, November 14th. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Yesterday, County Executive Steve Hsu announced that the county had been awarded a 3-year Safe and Thriving Communications grant in the amount of $738,000 by the U.S. Department of Justice to help combat gang and youth violence. The grant's going to help fund efforts to address growing youth and gang violence in the city of Annapolis as well as the county through public-private partnerships between Anne Arundel County, the city of Annapolis, and programs like Anne Arundel United and other local nonprofits. Officials are going to begin the effort by creating a strategic plan for communication, outreach, and programming in partnership with youth and residents and other community partners such as the Community Action Agency. Good news, hopefully that will do some good. Speaking of grants, Live Casino, formerly Maryland Live, has awarded nearly $20 million in local impact grants. Casino officials announced that $19.6 million was distributed this year, and it's the largest since the program began in 2012. And it brings the casino's local contributions over a 6-year period to more than $100 million. The majority of the funds will go to Anne Arundel County government, with $6.4 million going to the fire department, $3.6 million to the county police department, $2.5 million to the public works, $2.3 million to the Department of Recreation and Park. Anne Arundel Community College snagged $1.7 million, and the library got $1.25 million. Other large grant receivers are the Fort Meade Alliance Foundation, BWI Partnership, Arc of the Chesapeake, Meade High School Instrumental Music Association, and Partners in Care. Also, smaller community associations around the area within a 3-mile radius of the casino are eligible for grants. They can apply, they are encouraged to apply, and this year there was a total of $367,000 given away to those groups, from small things like $35,000 for a new fence at a community, for an HVAC system at the Jessup Improvement Association, smaller things like that. Baltimore Police Commissioner Kevin Davis says there is, quote, resolve within the police department to reduce juvenile crime in response to a Baltimore Sun editorial that was critical of the city for wanting to put more teenagers through the criminal justice system and accusing city officials of panicking. Said the commissioner, there are definitely systemic issues that determine why people turn to crime. I'm not denying those things exist, but when a person puts a gun in his hand or her hand, I can no longer choose to cling to the systemic issues that are very real. I have to do what I am tasked to do as police commissioner. If you didn't hear the interview with Commissioner Davis, check out the Maryland Crabs podcast. We had a great interview with him up in his office up in Baltimore a couple weeks ago. Check it out. Despite currently sporting a losing record, the Baltimore Ravens have a 50% chance to make the playoffs and the best chances of any team in the AFC vying for the final playoff spot. Baltimore is 1 game behind the 5-4 Bills for the last wild card spot, but the Ravens have an easier remaining schedule, so stay tuned. There is hope. And if food is on your mind, Chuy's has opened up their new restaurant today in the former Chili's restaurant at the Festival at Riva. The first 50 people in line this morning at their grand opening have received free Chuy's for a year. But when you go in, if you mention the keyword Elvis to their server, you can receive a free chili con queso. And lastly, throughout the first weeks, there will be a golden ticket hidden in select silverware packages. Each golden ticket can be redeemed for a free appetizer on the next visit. Chuy's Annapolis will be open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 to 11 Friday and Saturday. The restaurant will offer happy hour drink specials and a complimentary fully loaded nacho car with unlimited chips, salsa, queso, and ground sirloin and more. I will wait until the crowd dies down, and then I will definitely be checking out Chuy's in the Festival at Riva. And finally, today is the day that we know who the winners are in Wards 2 and Wards 8 for the City of Annapolis election. Currently, Fred Payon holds an 18-vote lead over challenger Kurt Riegel. And over in Ward 8, Ross Arnett holds a 54-vote lead over challenger Julie Mussog. Stay tuned on that. Stay tuned. We've got George Young with DMV Weather coming right up.
This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George from DMV Weather. Here's your Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, November 14th. The rest of the work week looks like this for Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Sunny and dry, highs in the 50s, lows in the 30s and 40s each night. For today specifically, we forecasted a target high temp of 52 degrees for both downtown Annapolis and BWI Airport, which will be our 8th consecutive day of below average high temps for the area. And that is likely to continue, with Thursday and Saturday as the only real shots at above average temps, which at that point will be 56 degrees each day for BWI Airport, in what is quickly becoming a very cool month on the whole, statistically speaking. Looking ahead to the weekend, the expectation at this point is for Saturday to be a wet one outside as a storm currently in the Pacific Northwest makes its way across the country and through the region. And that'll be followed by cold high temps on Sunday, only in the 40s, but it should be dry for the most part, if not all of Sunday. Okay, that's it for us today. Get our free weather app from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store by searching for DCMDVA Weather. And know you can also follow us 24/7, 365 on our website at dmvweather.com or on social media via Twitter or Facebook. This is George Young of DMV Weather with your Annapolis forecast. Get out and about while we have the sunshine in the 50s out there. But remember, whatever the weather out there, have fun and be safe.
Hey there, this is John Fernay, and the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief is sponsored by, well, it could be you. Podcasting is a growing trend, and since launching on September 1st, we have more than 10,000 downloads of this podcast, plus thousands of listens on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. In addition to our Facebook page, All Annapolis, and our Twitter account, we distribute the Daily News Brief to Apple Podcasts, which used to be called iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and the TuneIn app that can be played on your Amazon Echo or Google Home device. We focus on local news, local weather, local events, and local sports, including high school and college. So our audience is pretty tightly targeted to the greater Annapolis area. And if you own or manage a local business, you're a likely customer. Intrigued? Well, here's something to think about. Your company could be featured on this daily podcast for less than $20 a day. Interested? Shoot me an email and let's talk. My email address is john@eyeonannapolis.net, and that's EYEONANNAPOLIS, but you already knew that, .net. Let's get together and see what we can make happen.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at noon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
And finally, today is the day that we know who the winners are in Wards 2 and Wards 8 for the City of Annapolis election. Currently, Fred Payon holds an 18-vote lead over challenger Kurt Riegel. And over in Ward 8, Ross Arnett holds a 54-vote lead over challenger Julie Mussog. Stay tuned on that.